Shalom Havarim, James Trim here. Oftentimes when I speak to Christians particularly about observing the Torah, they respond by saying, but I have a circumcised heart. So today I want to talk to you about what it means scripturally to have a circumcised heart. Before we get going, I need to ask everybody to please donate to support this work. For those that don't know, my wife is chronically ill and disabled, suffers from chronic pain. I am her caretaker. So you'd really help us out with that. In addition, you'd also be helping for this work, the research we're doing on Hebrew and Aramaic New Testament origins, and the Jewish foundation of the teachings of Yeshua and his original followers. So please donate to support this work. You can do that by sending a donation by PayPal to donations@wnae.org. That's PayPal to donations@wnae.org. Or you can click on the donate link in the video description. There you can donate by PayPal, Zelle, or GoFundMe. We really do need donations by PayPal or Zelle today because GoFundMe donations take a few days to get to us, and we really need those funds to clear the account tonight. So if you can possibly donate, please do. No donation is too small, and any donation is better than no donation. I also want to ask everybody to please like this video, subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell so you'll get notified when new videos come out. Share these videos with your friends on social media, on email, in Facebook, in related Facebook groups, and so on. Let us know what you think in the comments and participate in the discussions in the comments. All that helps the YouTube algorithm decide which videos to recommend to new viewers, and obviously we want to get recommended to new viewers. So you can help us out in all those ways. We appreciate your support. And of course, we always appreciate those who have donated and made this work possible. All right, so let's talk about circumcision of the heart. What does it mean to have a circumcised heart? Now, this is a term that Paul uses in Romans chapter 2, verses 28 through 29. He says, "For he is not a Jew who is one in appearance only," or in appearance. "Also, what is made visible in the flesh is not circumcision. But that one is a Jew who is one secretly, and circumcision is that of the heart by the Spirit and not by the letter only, whose praise is not from men, but from Elohim." So what Paul's saying here is that one's not a Jew who is a Jew in appearance only, and that is made circumcision made by flesh alone, but from something addition to that, beyond that. He also says in Colossians chapter 2, verse 11, "By him you were circumcised with the circumcision which is not of your hands, by the putting off of the flesh of sins, by circumcision of the Messiah." Now, some were wrongly taught that the circumcision of the heart is some new circumcision that replaced physical circumcision of the flesh and even Torah observance. However, this circumcision of the heart was not a substitute for physical circumcision, nor a substitute for Torah observance in general. To the contrary, the Torah itself speaks about circumcision of the heart. You know, when Paul was teaching the Bereans in the Acts, it says that the Bereans checked the scriptures, searched the scriptures to see if what he said was so. So they were understanding what he said in context of the Tanakh, because the Tanakh is the only scriptures they had at the time. The New Testament hadn't been written yet. Like I said, what are two things the New Testament church didn't have? They didn't have a New Testament, and they didn't have a church. So Paul was, when he used this term or reference, this idea of circumcision of the heart, we should look in the Tanakh to see what he meant. And it may come as a surprise to many that this is in fact an idea that is found in the Torah itself. So let's turn in the Torah to Leviticus chapter 26, verses 40 through 42. We read, "And they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers in their treachery which they committed against me, and also that they have walked contrary to me. I also will walk contrary to them, and bring them into the land of their enemies. If then perchance their uncircumcised heart be humbled, and they then be paid the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land." So here we have in Leviticus 26 verses 40 through 42, those that have an uncircumcised heart are those that have strayed from Torah, essentially. So Leviticus 26, then we read a series of curses which come upon Israel for failing to observe Torah. And the Torah refers to those who do observe Torah, who do not observe Torah, as having an uncircumcised heart. Then in Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16, also in the Torah, "Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no more stiff-necked." Now, this section of Torah, we're told to circumcise our heart in chapter 10, verse 16. We're told to love Yahweh with all of our heart and keep his commandments in chapter 11, verses 1 and 13, and to place the Torah in our heart in chapter 11, verse 18. Thus, circumcision of the heart would seem to involve, according to the Torah, loving Yahweh and keeping his commandments and placing the Torah in our hearts. Thus we read in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 1, "Therefore you shall love Yahweh your Elohim and keep his charge and his statutes and ordinances and his commandments always." Verse 13, "And it shall come to pass, if you shall hearken diligently unto my commandments, which I command you this day, to love Yahweh your Elohim, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul." And verse 18, "Therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and you shall bind them for a sign upon your hand, and they shall be for frontlets between your eyes." This is following up on Deuteronomy chapter 10, verse 16, about the idea of having a circumcised heart. Then if we go on to the prophets, in the prophet Jeremiah, we read chapter 4, verse 4, "Circumcise yourselves to Yahweh, and take away the foreskins of your heart, you men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury go forth like fire and burn, that none shall quench it, because of the evil of your doings." Then Jeremiah, same book, chapter 9, verses 24 through 25, or verses 25 through 26, depending on whether you're looking at a Christian or a Jewish version. "Behold, the days come, says Yahweh, that I will punish all them that are circumcised in their uncircumcision. Egypt and Judah and Edom and the children of Ammon and Moab, and all that have the corners of their hair palled, that dwell in the wilderness. For all the nations are uncircumcised, but all the house of Israel are uncircumcised in the heart." And then in the prophet Ezekiel, chapter 44, verse 9, he writes, "Thus says Adonai Yahweh, no alien uncircumcised in heart and uncircumcised in flesh shall enter into my sanctuary, even any alien that is among the children of Israel." So the circumcision of the heart is not some New Testament replacement for the circumcision of the flesh. In fact, the Torah and the prophets speak of circumcision of the heart in terms of Torah observance, which by definition would include the circumcision of the flesh. So this idea of circumcision of the heart is not something that Paul invented. It's something Paul is referring to that's in the Torah and the prophets that has to do with observing Torah and having a heart that is open to Torah and loving Yahweh and observing his Torah. That's what it means to have a circumcised heart when we actually look in the scriptures to see what it means. Okay? One last time, I want to ask everybody to please consider donating to support this work. You can do that by clicking on the donate link in the video description or by sending donations by PayPal to donations@wnae.org. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, share these videos on social media with your friends, and share them in email with your friends. Let us know what you think in the comments, and participate in the discussions in the comments. Until next time, everybody, shalom.